beautiful little single unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that I've been given the pleasure to introduce myself, I'm Vanessa Somuayina, and welcome to the fam. As you already know by the title of this video, today's reading is all about your love life in December of 2019. So in order to help you figure out exactly what is going on, I have 4 groups, so please pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. Go with whichever mineral resonates the most with you. The minerals are as follows. We have the Amazonite, we have the diopside, we have the emerald, as well as the black obsidian. As you guys know, the timestamps are down below as well as in the comment section, so all of you watching from your mobile devices can fast forward to your reading. If you're new to my channel and you enjoyed your reading, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as turn your notifications bell on to never miss another prediction. So yeah, guys, I'm just in a good mood. I want to get straight into it. You guys know that I like to be effective. I like to make sure that we get the most out of our reading. So I'm going to get right into it with the first group, which corresponds to the Amazonite, and to all the other groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amazonite. Group number 1, you may have chosen this stone because you may have been a little hot-headed recently. You may also be of a fire sign and need to cool down a little bit when it comes to love, but let's get into your reading to figure out exactly what's going on. Okay, group number 1, we have the 5 of shells. So one thing that I see is hope kind of flaring up again in December, and I see that this will come through a readjustment. So it could be that maybe something is changing in your life that is all of a sudden going to make you feel a lot more hopeful about love. This may be, for instance, just a little encounter with another human being where they tell you that they find you attractive or really fun and witty, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, me? Stop it. No, actually, continue. Just kidding. You guys get what I mean, where all of a sudden you're like, okay, maybe things actually aren't so stale. Maybe things are actually really amazing in my love life, or have the potential to become really amazing. Then we have the Knight of Crystals. So in the Knight of Crystals, I see endurance as well as determination. So in correlation to love, I want you to know that when you're determined to find a love, you have to do it in the right way. So I don't want you to basically get your hopes up or think that everybody has the potential to be the one. You will instinctively feel if there's a deep connection there or not. But what I do want you to do is to be determined to focus on yourself and your growth, to use that to attract love, to use that to find love, because that is how you find the healthiest love. When you're in a situation of desperation where you really, really badly want to find love, that is when you always attract the worst people into your life. And in soul expansion, I see that just expanding your consciousness, your knowledge about this, and making sure that you don't just know this, but you actually follow through with focusing on yourself and letting love come to you like that. That is one thing that I see as sort of like a new connection that you're going to form, a new habit. Just doing you, making sure that you are at your healthiest, most confident, and knowing that love can enter your life in a way more easy, as well as perfect match kind of way, compared to if you're trying to force or push something. Then we have Freya. So in Freya, we have the beginning of something new, but it may be really sad to you that something old or something that was in the past is now ending. But know that with every cycle, there is an end. There is a new beginning. It's inevitable. It's just a part of human existence. And I want you to know that the new cycle in December in your love life has a lot to do with illusions being revealed and released. So as we spoke about in the beginning, maybe you have this illusion of not being as lovable as you really are, or maybe not being as attractive, but I see that those illusions are going to be uncovered, and you're going to release them in the form of knowing, hey, I'm not all that bad, okay? I'm actually pretty cute. So that is kind of like a revelation that I see coming towards you, group number 1. So kind of amping up your confidence, if you will, which is a great thing for love. Then we have the Archangel Raphael. So in the Archangel Raphael, I see just the healing of mind, body, and spirit. I feel like love is a cure for a lot of those things, but you can't wait for love when it comes to that. You have to make sure that you're already sort of connected to each chakra, to each part of your body, and keeping it intact. so that when love does come, you're not kind of like a project for this person. Then in resilience, I want you to know that there are some tribulations that are possibly happening during December, and you have to rise above them. Group number one, there is a reason why you tune into this reading. There's a reason why I'm here to empower you to rise above any tribulations that may happen. So you may be let down or rejected, or things that may just not be going as you hoped for in December in love. And you know, December is a busy month for a lot of people, where they spend time with their friends and family, where when they talk to other people, their opinion may change of themselves as well as of other people. So you never know, if you're speaking to somebody and they talk to their friends, their family about you, what influence that they might have on this person. So keep in mind that they don't always make the decisions like based solely on what they want. Sometimes they make their decisions based on what society, the people around them want. So don't allow any setbacks to hurt you or to make you question your value. You don't need that, group number one. But let's move further into your reading. Then we have the moon, okay? I see that your perception is shifting of love. Love has, up until this point, had a very specific place and meaning in your life. But with this new cycle, I see it gaining a new sort of spot for you. It's gaining a new area where you're like, okay, this is where I'm putting love. Instead of putting love like on a throne, on a pedestal, or in the gutter, I will give it like a very balanced spot to sit on, where if love enters my life, that is great, but I'm not going to force it, but I'm also not going to settle for anything that I don't want. Then in the Emperor, I want you to focus on your stability. One thing that I see that is important for you in love, group number one, is for you to basically be a boss. I see that you have the tendency to attract people where if you're in a relationship with them or in a situationship, that if you're not in control of your life, those people may think lesser of you. And they may never say it, they may not express it, they may not even consciously know it. This may just be subconsciously, but you may attract people who think like, oh, well, you know, you don't have your life 100% together, so therefore you're not as high up as I am. That is kind of like the thought that may cross their mind. So I want you to basically plan. I want you to make sure that you get all of your things in order, and to also just make sure that you exude this boss energy. So whether you have your things together or not does not justify anybody thinking lesser of you, but sometimes you just need to exude this energy of confidence and of knowing what you're doing, just to basically tell people like, hey, okay, I got this. I don't need you, okay? You're just here because I want you here. So that's the vibe that I'm speaking about. Then last but not least, we have the Hermit as well as the Three of Acorns. So in the Hermit, one thing that I see here is wisdom. I see contemplation. I see a lot of thoughts being exchanged. So December is definitely a month where you're doing a lot of soul searching, where you're thinking to yourself about everything that you've been through in love, the encounters that you've had, the mistakes you've made, the joyful times, etc. And one thing that I see here in the Three of Acorns is that that can sort of give you foresight. That can sort of allow you to say like, okay, this is what I've tried, but I'm now going to plan differently, as we had in the Emperor with planning. I'm now going to try and do things in a certain manner because this is the outcome that I want, and I'm trying to avoid an outcome that I've had in the past that didn't quite suit me. So make sure that you use those past experiences to plan the future in love, and focus 100% on your stability, on what is going on in your life, on your career, on your empire, and just being the boss of things. So group number one, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. If you did, make sure that you let me know down below in the comment section, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings. Hello group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Diopside group number two. I want to get straight into your reading about what is happening in your love life in December, and this is going to happen completely intuitively. So all I ask of you is to lean back and enjoy. Let's see what's going on. So we have the dolphin. I want you not to worry, but to be happy, okay? So I know this sounds really cheesy, don't worry, be happy. But honestly, you have to stop worrying about things in love. You have to start living. You have to start letting things happen and just not try and already foresee what is going to happen. Not try and use your clairvoyance in order to sort of already figure out where you might be going or what is happening with a situationship or a connection. Just let it be. If it is meant to be, it is going to develop in that direction. If it is not meant to be, then things will either not continue working out or it may remain stagnant. So just watch what is happening in the now instead of trying to see into the future. Then in self-reliance, I want you to not be afraid to fly solo. So there is a reason, group number 2, why this card has showed up in your reading. And maybe you're a little bit anxious. Maybe you like to do things with another human being, and doing things all by yourself, be it grocery shopping, going on walks, maybe going out to just, shop, do things. It may make you really anxious. It may make you kind of feel a little bit afraid, a little bit nervous, okay? And I want you to know that this form of anxiety can escalate into you not really being able to leave the house, you not really being able to just feel comfortable in your own skin as soon as you're in a new environment. But you can practice not feeling uncomfortable by getting yourself out, getting yourself in new situations alone, okay? So don't be afraid to fly solo. There's a reason why this card showed up. And in December, it's just so important for you to practice this. I don't want you to lose your independence all because of a little bit of insecurity that could have been prevented if you would have done this early enough. Then in the white eagle, I see here connecting to your lineage. So in December, there may be a lot of festivities with your family, with just people that are very close to you, and you can connect with them on a very spiritual and deep level, telling stories of the past, of people who have passed, who used to be here, in the earthly realms with us, but are now no longer. I want you to know that any sort of family wound, any sort of pattern, anything in your family that makes you feel a little anxious or sad, now is the time to heal it, okay? December is the time where you can fix those things, and that is love as well. Love with your family, with the people who you're closest to, your friends. That is the most important love connection actually in your life, because they're always going to be there. Romantic love has its ups and downs, and often when it's over, but friends and family, a lot of them are here for life. So keep that in mind, that they're just as important. Then in Freya, we have phases and cycles. This will begin a new cycle in love, platonic love, as well as romantic love. Know that when your things are resolved in your private life, you can then allow romantic love to fall into place and to enter your life, because romantic love doesn't like to go where there is a hostile environment. Unless it is a toxic relationship, then it loves it. Know how people who are toxic for you, they can often come into your life at the worst moments, and in those moments you may think that it's a blessing. You may not even notice that it's toxicity, that it's bad for you, but because you're in such a vulnerable state, you may see it as something that it's not. So be very careful while you're healing these sort of family wounds, while you're healing your relationship with your friends, with just whoever is closest to you that you feel a disconnect from, because whoever wants to enter your life at a vulnerable stage can be an amazing blessing, or it can be somebody that you wish you may have met at a different point when you saw a little clearer. Then in Horus, we have the cosmic gateway. So I want you to know that your thoughts are so powerful, okay? Especially in love. Being lovable has a lot to do with how you think and perceive yourself, what you think of yourself. So keep in mind that miraculous changes can happen in love depending on what is going on in your head. If you allow yourself to think that love is wonderful, if you allow yourself to be open to the possibility of love, even if it's not perfect, that is when you are a lot more approachable. Because you honestly do get what you give. you give approachable, positive energy, you get amazing energy back. Keep that in mind, group number 2. And in the Holy Spirit, I want you to expect miracles, okay? The Holy Spirit, in correlation to Horus, I want you to know that there is a lot of very powerful energy and love around you in December. I want you to remember that love is the only real thing, and miracles can just occur naturally when love is at the center of your life. I want you to 100% focus on unconditional love, loving other human beings for who they are, not just romantic, just knowing that we're all like interconnected. We all should love and respect each other, because the energy, the vibration of every single human being is here in this world. And if you can make somebody's vibration just a little bit higher, and that can have some sort of domino effect, just imagine where we would be as a whole vibration wise on this planet. Everybody would love and respect each other. So don't be shy to make that step. Know that there is power in numbers, but at the same time, you're not just one itty bitty entity. It's important for you to know that your actions can have a ripple effect. They can make a big difference. Then in the 5 of crystals, we have persistence as well as new opportunities. So there is definitely new opportunity for romantic love, but you may have to be a little persistent, which you may not like. So this may, in fact, group number 2, not be the perfect connection for you that is possible in December, because you may prefer somebody who is trying to be more persistent with you instead of you having to be persistent with them. Then we have the 9 of shells. In the 9 of shells, we have gratitude and fulfillment. The 9 of shells shows me that you're close to a point of emotional fulfillment, but you're not quite there in December. So December, yes, you're happy, you're grateful, but something is missing. Something is still not whole that you feel like you're kind of still searching for. Then we have the 4 of crystals as well as the King of crystals. So we have a whole lot of crystals within your reading, group number 2. This leads me to think that a earth sign is deeply involved in your life in December of 2019. And one thing that I see here in the King of crystals as well as the 4 of crystals is a form of control. So you have to be in control of whatever is going on around you. If love comes into your life, or potential love, I want you to not just drop everything. Don't forget about your friends. Don't forget about your work, your chores, the things that you know you need to get done, because sometimes we can get carried away. And if it doesn't work out, you're going to think to myself, I can't believe I ghosted my friends. I didn't work as hard as I could have. I didn't finish the project to a satisfactory result because I was texting or calling this person or hanging out with them. Know that you have to always keep distance, especially at the beginning, in order to make sure that you don't completely forget about your life and don't make the change into a committed relationship too quickly, at least not before you know that the other person feels the same way, because then you're sort of tearing your whole life upside down, like flipping it upside down. You don't know if the other person is doing that as well, and if they leave or it doesn't work out, guess whose life is still upside down? It's going to be yours, and you're going to be annoyed and unhappy about that. So take this sort of word of advice with you, group number 2. Do not change anything in your schedule to accommodate somebody. Make sure that you keep your schedule, the things that are important, as is, until you have built a bit of a stronger connection. Then you can maybe start to adjust the things that you do in your daily life according to that relationship. But protect yourself at first. I see that that is important. So group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. I hope it gave you a little bit of peace of mind for December of 2019. And I will see you in my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Emerald, group number 3. I want to get straight into your reading about your love life completely intuitively, so just lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading. So we have these 7 deadly sins. One thing that I see is sort of like an element of destruction in love. So this means that maybe your walls are coming down. Maybe you're going to allow yourself to be a little bit more open-minded, which puts you at a little bit of risk for being hurt. It puts you in a vulnerable position. So know that allowing yourself to be in a vulnerable position can be scary. It can be kind of kind of unsettling, but sometimes you just need to do that. But I want you to also know in these 7 deadly sins that your mind is kind of running on a very sharp mode in December. So you will see if somebody is trying to be dishonest, you will see if somebody is trying to be deceiving, and you will know instinctively what to do about that. Then in knowledge, I want you to seek a little bit more knowledge out when it comes to love. So by that, I mean seeking out how you can get closer to what it is that you want from love. If you, for instance, want to be with a certain type of person, maybe you would like to be with somebody who is older, maybe somebody who is financially well off, or someone who is very adventurous, someone who likes to travel. So those are all different things that you may be looking for, and in order for you to get to that point, you may want to seek out knowledge, as in, where do these people hang out? If I want to, for instance, be with somebody who loves to travel, maybe there is a travel website where you can connect with other people who love traveling. Maybe there is an event at an old people's home where you can meet somebody who's older than you. Just kidding, group number 3, but maybe there is a convention for entrepreneurs, for people who like X, Y, and Z, and you know that you, for instance, love comics. You want to be with somebody who loves comics as well. Go to a Comic-Con, talk to some people there, connect with a new sort of demographic of people in order to open a new gateway, a new path to love. And this doesn't have to be like the first person you talk to when you go to one of these places. It doesn't have to be like the first person you come in contact with, but just allowing yourself to open up to a new type of person, to a new type of area code. That is one thing that I see as important for you. Then in moving forward, I see positive change coming. I see quick movement forward in the right direction. You're going to feel like you're making a good time in December, because maybe you feel like time is running out when it comes to what you want in love, but you're moving forward quickly in December. Things are progressing in a favorable way. And in money, I see that focusing on your finances would be beneficial, because you're able to make more money than usual. You're probably also spending more money than usual, but you're able to attract more abundance. So allow yourself to still have your focus on your career, on how it is that you finance your life, your world, basically, how you're able to feed yourself, put a roof over your head, because that is just one of those things that you wouldn't want to have to worry about, especially through ups and downs in love, if that is what you will be going through. Then in the 10 of crystals, we have stability. So there's not really going to be much ups and downs. As I said, if you're going through ups and downs, you don't want to worry about money. But when you have stability, it is also great to just show other people that you're goal focused and that you're not just an immature person anymore who, as soon as somebody gives them a bit of attention or says, hey, let's go on a date, that you drop everything. No, you have your own things going for you. You have your own life, and you're not going to stop it for anybody, because you know how important it is to stay goal focused and goal oriented. Then in the 4 of acorns, I see sort of like community and comfort. So allow yourself to get comfortable in a community that makes you feel at home. It could be, for instance, here, the unicorn community. It could be somewhere else. You know, maybe you really love going to an obedience class with your dog. Maybe you really love going to a fitness workout type of class, and that is where you feel community and comfort. I see that you will be able to get a lot of confidence and a lot of good vibes out of that, especially in correlation to love, because other people will just allow you to see yourself from a different viewpoint. So has somebody ever described how they see you to you and you were like, wow, I didn't even know that's how I was. I literally thought I was a potato. You know what I'm saying? And that will just allow you to see things from a different viewpoint. And in the chariot, I want you to know that discipline is really essential for you in December. So I feel as though love can sometimes be a situation where you disappoint yourself. For instance, if an ex comes back or texts you, you tell yourself that you don't want to reply, but you still do. Or you tell yourself you're just going to ignore this person, but you end up not, even though you know it's not good for you, it's toxic. And I want you to truly be like hard on yourself, to be disciplined with those things. If you know that it's toxic for you to be giving people a chance where you already know that things are off, or you already know that it's unhealthy for your emotions, don't go there. Stop sabotaging yourself. Then in the Ace of Crystals, I want you to focus on manifestation. Focus on what you're doing for yourself that is good for you, okay? Stop focusing on other people. I see that prosperity is just around the corner, but you have to attract it by manifesting. So every day, write down exactly what you want in love, what you want out of life, and 3 things that you are grateful for. Allow that to invite more prosperity into your life as well as more abundance. Then we have Joan of Arc as well as the Holy Amethyst. So group number 3, in Joan of Arc, first and foremost, I see that you have to just stand strong as well as focus on your purpose. I see that you have this fear of being persecuted, especially when it comes to love. You feel like people are judging you for what you love, what you stand for, and you don't want to be the weird, like odd one out. But I want you to know that it's so important for you to focus on your purpose, whether that person likes it or not. And if you feel like it's always been your purpose to work with animals or to work in social media, maybe you felt like it's always been your purpose to have a YouTube channel, but you're embarrassed to tell this person about your goals or the things that you felt were your purpose. I want you to know that you still need to speak with this truth. You still need to just let them know, like, hey, this is a part of me. Of course, you don't need to reveal this the first time you meet somebody, but in any situationship, I would say it is essential for you to allow them to know who you are before you start getting too close to them. And last but not least, in the Holy Amethyst, I want you to move beyond these challenges, okay? In these 7 deadly sins, I do see that to some degree there may be some challenges in love, there may be some setbacks, there may be some situations where you just think to yourself, why me? But at the same time, you just have to focus on what you desire. You have to stop focusing on the things that are not going smoothly. You have to stop focusing on anything that has happened that was not beneficial in love, and keep focus on your goal. Stay focused on your goal. Every time you get a step closer to your goal, even if it's through a failure or through something not going in a way how you always wanted it to go, that still gives you knowledge of what doesn't work. That still gives you knowledge of, okay, I tried. So know that in love, when things go wrong, that means that you're just one step closer to things being right. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it gave you inspiration as well as motivation. If it did, let me know down in the comment section, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Black Obsidian, group number 4. This stone is a stone of protection. That may say a little something about what you truly need in love in December, but let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what is going on. So we're going to be doing this intuitively, so lean back and enjoy. Let's see what's happening for you. We have the Peacock. You have to raise your standards, okay? In love, you are clearly undervaluing yourself. You're clearly unaware of how awesome, amazing, and beautiful that you are. So I said it once, I'll say it again, okay? You're beautiful, group number 4, but you need to know that. If everybody else knows that, but you don't know that, it's just not the same, okay? You're going to attract low vibrational human beings. You're going to attract people who do not want to see you confident because they like when you're in a situation where you don't value yourself. So make sure that you raise your standards to where you can attract those who like a confident you, who like a you who knows, like, yeah, you know what, I'm cute, I'm an amazing person, and I have a great personality. Then in the Animal Bond, I want you to know that your instinctual side is really coming out in December, and you will know good from bad. You will know somebody who is toxic from someone who is amazing, but at the same time, you also need to make sure that you still use your rational mind. So if you get a bad vibe off of somebody, don't like instantly say like, okay, I have a bad vibe, so it's a no. Like, make sure that you still just allow a little bit of a chance, just in case your intuition, your instinct was off that one time. I mean, sometimes I think my intuition is talking to me, but it's actually just my belly, you know what I mean? But I'm actually just hungry. So until you know, like, for sure 100% what your intuition feels like, I think it's always good to just leave that little chance open to get to know somebody a little better. Then in Serapis Bay, I want you to move further into your true self. I see that that is a requirement for you to attain your goals in love. If you want marriage, if you want kids, if you would like a committed relationship, you have to go into a different space, into a different vibrational space. I see here that right now you may be in a space of a little bit too much darkness, and you have to ascend, okay? You have to go from the darkness into the light. The darkness may be here because of what has transpired in some of your past relationships. The darkness may also be here because of how you feel about yourself. So work on eliminating that darkness, group number 4. Work on making sure that you move into the light. Then in Freya, I want you to know that everything has its phases, everything has its cycles. So does love. Know that every phase, every cycle is important. Just as the human body has cycles and phases, as well as the nature has, different seasons. Those are different phases and cycles. You have different seasons. You have situations that have to occur before love can happen. You have healing that needs to be done before you can move on. So honor all of those cycles. Make sure that you don't take them for granted, because each stage is just as important as the next, okay? Don't take any stage for granted. Don't allow yourself to sort of rate stages, as in saying some of them are good and some of them are bad. See them as all around important and just helpful for your growth in love. Then we have the King of Crystals, as well as the Nine of Shells. So in the King of Crystals, one thing that I see here is authority. So I feel like somebody may be coming into your life who is pretty mature, who is pretty authoritative, maybe somebody who is older than you, who is looking to have a commitment, a steady relationship, maybe something like a marriage, that picture book kind of relationship. And I want you to know that this person is 100% ready, but you need to ask yourself if you are at the point where you can be 100% committed. Are you really able to potentially spend the rest of your life with that person? If you're not 100% sure, you're maybe not ready, you're maybe still going through a phase or a cycle of preparation. But I want you to know in the Nine of Shells that this person that is coming into your life, this may be an earth sign in December, this person is a very gracious person. They're willing to give you a little bit of time to figure things out. They're willing to allow you to get to a point where you're sure of what it is that you want, and they're not going to leave just as soon as you're like, okay, let's just figure things out. You know what I mean? They're willing to wait. They're willing to allow you to do things at your own pace. So let's see what else is going on for you. We have Justice, as well as the 10 of Acorns. So group number 4, in Justice, I want you to know that it's so important for you to gain clarity about a situation. So in love, there is something that is maybe unclear, where you have to first retrieve every little bit of information before making up your mind. So if you're speaking to somebody new, if you're talking to someone, even if you've known them for a while, and you feel like something is off, make sure that you get every little bit of information before you decide what is really true and what isn't, before you make up your mind as to what you want to believe. Then in the 10 of Acorns, I want you to know that you have a lot of responsibility when it comes to love. I see that this person that may be entering your life in December is someone who has had their heart broken before, is somebody who has been tremendously hurt, and it is now your responsibility to be truthful with them. It is now your responsibility to tell them straight up whether you enjoy their company, whether you like them, whether you see something going any further, or whether you don't see that happening. So see this as a privilege as well, because that just shows that people trust you. People do not think that you're just going to break their heart. Then we have Isis. So in Isis, we have magic manifesting, and in the green Tara, we have supreme protection. So manifestation is an amazing point for you, group number 4. I see that Here, your dreams, your visions, your goals, they're all becoming reality in love, and everything is just moving forward step by step. But you have to stay focused. As I said, don't focus on any sort of like negative parts of your cycle. Just focus on the fact that the cycle is happening and you're moving forward. Every breath you take, every second is a step forward in the right direction, as long as you focus on the positive. And knowing the green Tara that cords are being cut, I see that limitations were a thing before, but in December, you're just going to let go of that. You're going to be like, hey, I'm starting a new cycle. I'm starting 2020, and I'm cutting those cords that have been limiting me in love. I'm cutting those ties of being codependent, of being scared of being let down, being scared of rejection. I'm just going to go for it. Like 2020 is the year of not giving a damn and just doing what I feel is right. Then we have face your fears, which obviously that is going to be a fear, but you will face it. It is completely clear from your reading that you're going to move to a totally different vibe and headspace. And last but not least, we have enlightenment. So spiritual growth is one thing that I see that is happening through your experience in love in December. I want you to know that cutting these cords of fear, allowing anxiety to just go away, to make an exit, is going to lead you to this form of feeling enlightened, of feeling more vibrant, more free, and more just independent, like you can achieve anything, not only in love, but also in the other areas of your life. So group number 4, rest up. Okay, I see that there is a lot happening for you in love, a lot of realizations, and just the fact that you're raising your standards, that you're moving from a lower vibration to a higher vibration. It's going to take a lot out of you. I want you to know that if you're exceptionally tired, if you're exceptionally sort of like groggy, even though maybe you did have your 6 to 8 hours of sleep or you've been eating well, it could be because you're going through a spiritual enlightenment, through a spiritual awakening, because it just does something to us, okay? It takes a lot out of your body. It is really not an easy thing to go through. It is a change that can come with growing pains, so be aware of that, group number 4. This is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. If you did, let me know down below in the comment section, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings.